Hi again, everybody. My name is Greg Anderson, and this is the Good Timekeeping Show with Greg Anderson. Today, I want to talk about these watches. I'll do them one at a time, but this is the W-735H, and this is the W-736H. And the distinguishing feature about these watches that kind of sets them apart from a lot of standard Casios is the vibration alarm. They each have that. In fact, these two watches do all of the same things when you press the buttons. It's just they have a bit of a different display. It's kind of fun. If you look at the cases, they look like just the same thing, just some different colors here. You know, this shape right in here is the same on each of these. Just what they've got inside on the face is a little bit different, but everything else, the strap, everything just looks the same. So let's start with this one. And I was able to find this at my local Walmart store. There are some different color variations, including, I think, a negative display version of this. I prefer the positive LCD, so that's why I went with this one. Let's look at the main functions and features here from the home screen. Of course, you've got regular timekeeping here, the day of the week, and month and date, and then, of course, your local time, hours, minutes, and seconds. This can be in the AM, PM, or 12-hour mode, or it could be in the 24-hour mode, or kind of military time, if you will. These dials here interact with the seconds display, so like slices of a pie appearing and disappearing in accordance with what the seconds are doing there. And then this little dial here shows you whether the alarm is active, whether the hourly signal is active, whether you've selected a vibration alarm or a regular beeping alarm. And that one over there is just indicating the split time if you're running the stopwatch with a split time. It's a 10-year battery. This uses the lithium 2032 battery, which is a pretty common battery for garage door opener remotes. You shouldn't have too much problem finding a battery every 10 years when the battery change is necessary. Here you see 4 buttons around the face of the watch, plus a 5th button dedicated just for the light, and I'll show you that in just a moment. If I go to change modes, my next mode is my countdown timer mode, and this can be a 24-hour countdown if you like. Just start and stop it there, reset it up there. I can press the adjust button to reset the duration of what I want to count down. I can go hours, minutes, and even seconds. So anything from 1 second, any combination of hours, minutes, and seconds, all the way up to the full 24 hours. If I set it to all zeros, then that will count down a full 24 hours for me. And as you can see there, you've got the local time while the countdown timer is standing by. But when it's running, it's going to show you hours, minutes, seconds, and tenths of a second while it's running. And look at how these little slices of a pie are interacting with the tenths of a second display during the countdown timer. Now, since I've done something in that timer mode, the next time I press the mode button, it takes me back to the home screen. So if I want to go to the stopwatch mode, I have to press this twice now from here. And now I'm in the stopwatch mode. And there you can see it's hours, minutes, seconds, and hundredths of a second for the stopwatch. And of course, you've got split time right there. And I can stop and reset to 0. When I'm standing by there, reset to 0. I see the local time there standing by as well. Now I have to go back to the home screen. Oh, there's one more thing I need to tell you about the stopwatch. Okay, if I'm here in standby, and it's showing me the local time and my stopwatch in standby, if I now tap this split button, it's auto start with a 5-second countdown, right? So what happens now is when I start the stopwatch, gives me a little countdown, and then it starts going, okay? So I can enable or disable that 5-second countdown by simply tapping the split button when everything is reset. And so you have that option available if you prefer in your stopwatch mode. Now I have to go back to the home screen and then 1, 2, 3. Now I'm looking at the alarm mode. So in the alarm mode, of course, you can select, the hours and minutes for your alarm setting. And if I push this split button up here, I can select whether I want the alarm on or the signal on, the hourly signal, or both on or both off. Now, if I want the beep instead of the vibration alarm, I go back here to the home screen and I press and hold this start button for just a few seconds. And when I do that, you see vibration has turned off and the beep has turned on instead. So now when I change modes, I get a little beep every time I go through my settings here. Or if I want to silence that beep, then I go back here to the home screen, I select vibration mode only, and now it gives just a little vibration, kind of feels similar to when your phone vibrates in your pocket when you've got it on silent mode. Okay, so now if I go here back to the alarm screen, if I press and hold this button marked split, if I just hold that long enough, then I get kind of a demonstration. It'll vibrate for me, or if I'm in the beep mode and I go back here to the alarm mode and press and hold that, it gives me a demonstration of the beeping. Of course, that is affecting my setting for whether the alarm or the signal are on. So, I have to reset that to whatever I want it to be. I guess I'll leave it in signal only. All right, so then I'm able to go back here to the home screen. If I press this button again, go to dual time, and here I can choose some other time zone. I've selected UTC for my other time zone, but you can adjust this to any other time you want, hours and minutes. It'll be the same seconds as your home time. Also, one of the nice things about this, you can see that my home time is in 12-hour mode and my dual time is in 24-hour mode, so they don't have to be in the same mode. If I want to, I can stop this from blinking, and now if I press the split button while I'm displaying my dual time there, that can choose 12 or 24-hour mode for my dual time without affecting the 12 or 24-hour mode for the other modes of the watch. Dual time does its own thing as far as military time versus AM and PM. And now we're back to the home screen. So from here, let me just show you quickly. If I want to press adjust, then things start to blink. And this is where I can manually set the seconds, hours, minutes, the 12-hour or 24-hour display for all the modes except dual time. Then here I can select the year, month, and date. And those are all my main settings here. And well, yeah, that's how you set it up and get what you want. I'm going to put it back on vibrate mode so I can be kind of discreet when my hourly signal goes off at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and so on. So while I find that most of what you can do on this watch seems rather intuitive, it turns out that activating or deactivating the vibration mode is not quite so obvious how to do that. But again, you just press and hold this while you're in your main timekeeping mode. And the other thing that is maybe not so obvious is the alarm demonstration that I showed you there, and the fact that your dual time can be 24 or 12-hour mode. Everything else I think is really easy to figure out, especially if you're familiar with digital watches or just about any Casio watch. You can figure out most of what to do just using all these buttons here. Let's quickly show you a light demonstration. As far as the backlight on this watch goes, lights up pretty well, pretty nice and bright. Two bright LEDs right there in the corners shining up there. And yeah, that gives you a nice clear display and lights up for just a couple seconds. And here's what it looks like on my wrist. I've got about a 7.5-inch circumference on my wrist there. That's how much strap is left over. And, it's comfortable, fairly lightweight. I forgot to mention 100-meter water resistance in case you didn't see that on the face of the watch. Here's what it looks like on the back, very similar to a lot of other Casio and even G-Shock watches with those 4 tiny screws to hold the back plate on. If all goes as planned, you only need to open up that back once every 10 years anyway for that battery change. And there you go. You can choose whatever you want, available in a few different color combinations. If you want the 735 or the 736, you're going to get similar performance. You can see the digits are a little bit bigger on this one, so maybe you prefer that. This one's not bad at all either. And those are some fine watches. They're very affordable. We can compare the weight of these watches. Here's a GW6900, weighs in at 62 grams, more or less. Here's the DW291, 61 grams. Here's a W-736 at 51 grams, and the W-735, 49 grams. So all pretty comparable, not too heavy, not too bulky. This is the bulkiest one, and even that's great at only 63 grams. Okay, looking good. You should be able to find these for somewhere in the neighborhood of $25 maybe for this one, up into about $30 maybe for this one. And even the other color combinations shouldn't cost you more than $30 or so if you shop around carefully. So that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you're interested in a vibration alarm for your watches and a 10-year battery even to make it that much better. It should be accurate to within 30 seconds a month, just going off quartz accuracy. But I have found in my experience with these watches, I usually get much better accuracy than that. So I don't think you can go too far wrong with these, especially if you like the colors and the style and the feel and the vibration alarm feature as well. And that's all for now. And so I hope you will join me later soon for another episode of the Good Timekeeping Show.